What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Marvelous Monday. And this podcast is presented to you by Macy's. You know Macy's has everything that you could possibly want, especially, for fall. I got some new soup bowls, some fall-themed soup bowls, made some soup in my crock pot. If you want to watch that video, it was absolutely delicious. I had some leftovers last week.
No, I almost asked you to bring some.
Oh, I ate it all. I ate it all.
Not now, but
the next day I did have leftovers, but I left them at home for myself, selfishly, because it was so good. But you could shop everything that you possibly need at Macy's.
Yes, and we are full swing. I feel like September, October, a lot of weddings. If you're going to a lot of weddings, Macy's has you covered. They have their wedding shop. It's a perfect place to find the perfect outfit. They have so many different shops to visit on Macy's. So whether you are going on vacation, they have the vacation shop, wedding guest edit, going out shop, wear to work, fall dresses, elevated utility, romance, fall trends, new neutrals, modern class. They have it all. It's all curated. You can check it out from their different shops. See what you like. Maybe you're looking for some fall neutrals. You can look for that. Maybe you need some wedding guest dresses. They have that. So go check out Macy's.com. Shop all that fall fashion. Find all the perfect outfits for everything you need.
Yeah, go do it. Go shop. Get what you need at Macy's.com. How we feeling today? It's
Good.
Monday.
It's Monday.
It is Monday.
It's Monday. The holy shit that I woke up with this morning of oh my god.
I actually envisioned you waking up this morning.
I just
I'm not gonna lie, when I was getting ready, I was like, I wonder how Fran felt waking up this morning.
I'm so excited, but it's at the same I'm so excited where I could jump up and be like, all right, but I'm also I have so much anxiety that I could have just laid in bed all day and just been under the covers and been someone pick up my body and teleport me to where I need to be.
I mean, props to you for being here today. I'm not gonna lie, you know what I mean? I told you, why are you even coming in?
You were like, when are you leaving? I was like, Wednesday. She's like, you don't want to leave earlier?
I was like, go earlier. What are you doing?
My mom said the same thing. She's like, wait, Fran's going in tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to be gone for a really long time.
You are going to be gone for a long time.
So I have that in mind where I'm I'm going to be gone for a fucking long time. So
while you bring that up.
Better make sure everybody remembers me.
Right. I do want to, while you bring that up, I do want to give some details about what's going to be going on when you're gone. Guys, the show's not going anywhere, okay? No. All aboard the Rhea train, all right? I'm going to lead us to victory while Fran is gone. I have special guests outside of Barstool coming on the show.
You do?
Yes.
You haven't told me anything.
I mentioned it the other day.
Oh.
I don't think you were paying attention. But some great ladies are coming on the show.
Okay.
And some other Barstool people will be coming on because I will be in Chicago filming Surviving Barstool next week.
Yep. Which is a whole nother thing.
Which is a whole other layer to this. Now, I won't be posting on social media in real time.
Yep.
Nobody can know what I am up to because that would spoil the show.
Yeah.
When it comes to the podcast, I will be doing the podcast in real time. I'm going to be recording, talking about pop culture. I'll have guests on. But I won't be talking about what I'm doing.
Episodes out Wednesday and Friday.
Yes. Episodes
next week.
Yes. Episodes Wednesday and Friday next week. It just won't be oh, Rhea, how you doing?
Right.
I won't be talking.
You won't be wow, today was a crazy day.
Yeah, I will not be filling anybody in on my life during that time because I'm filming a reality show.
You have to be mysterious.
That I can't let anybody know.
No, you can't divulge a single detail.
Yes.
You can't even hint at anything.
You can't, nothing.
No.
But the podcast is going to go on as scheduled. Mm-hmm. But if you're oh my God, Rhea isn't posting on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, I don't know why you would think that, but maybe you would. Just know it's because I can't.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll post some pictures from Francesca's lovely wedding after she posts pictures herself. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be oh my God, here's Fran when she hasn't even posted anything of herself. So I just want to get that out there as well. But yeah, we will miss you so much.
Thank you. I'm going to miss you guys.
We'll miss you, but we hope you have a fantastic time. Yep. But this show will go on.
Yes, it
'Cause
will.
you know what I mean?
It has to.
It has to, and it will.
Absolutely has to.
And I won't disappoint anybody.
No,
That's my promise. I have some fun things planned, and it's going to be great.
I've had people in just like in my life, like my family, like be like, so what are you going to do? Like, while you're gone? I'm like, she's got it. I'm like, she's got it covered. I was like, honestly, like I'm in my mind, I was like, I'm going on my honeymoon. I am trying to relax as much as I possibly can. The show is in her hands, and whatever she does, I completely trust, and I'm excited to see what you do.
As you should trust.
Yeah. And it's nice because it's these moments. It's one of those things that obviously have come with getting married around the same time, but it's such a nice delight to know that like you have it covered, and then in a few months' time when it's your turn to do all this, I got you, babe.
Yeah, you got me,
you know?
I got you.
Exactly.
We're tossing it back and forth.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I could. Should I say the guests or should I save them?
Save them.
Save them?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want people to know it's going to be good. Like I
No,
want people to doubt me.
I'm kind of like build up the suspense a little.
Okay, fine. I mean, it's going to be
I don't know who it is, so I'm excited. And if I like, for me, I'm like, ooh, wait a little bit.
Okay, two separate episodes have. I'll say one episode has two guests at the same time, and another episode is a solo guest.
Awesome.
So it's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of other things mixed in between. And don't worry, I got everybody covered. But it is wedding week.
It is. That it is. I had a lovely, lovely weekend. Thank God I didn't have. I mean, I probably would have canceled whatever I had.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually one of Joe's best friends' birthdays, and I was just like, guys, it's just not happening for me. And everyone was like, completely understand. Right. Like, you should be doing absolutely nothing. And that's, I mean, I would love to be doing absolutely nothing, but I still have 9 million things to do. So it was like just getting those things together, packing. People, like I said, once again, it's the honeymoon right after. It flies under the radar that you have to like really be prepared.
Right, you have to pack for that.
Yeah, I'm just so, I've got my pile in the apartment of like, okay, this is honeymoon stuff. Okay, this is coming to the wedding. This is, and also I guess it is technically a destination wedding, even though like
it is a destination.
It's
wedding.
a destination wedding.
It's an island.
Yeah, it just doesn't like fully feel that, like it's not like I'm going and staying at a hotel, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so that's different, but it is the fact that I have to pack my stuff.
Are you sleeping at your house?
Yeah. I'm going to be at my house the whole time.
Gotcha.
Besides our wedding night, which we'll stay at a hotel.
Well, that's what I was saying. Are you staying at
your house
we will not be
staying
wedding night?
in my house on the wedding night.
That's what I was asking.
No.
Okay.
I
was not gonna judge, but I was a little bit.
No.
Just
we
like,
have a room at
you
a
should have
hotel.
your privacy.
Yeah, 100%. We have a room. Yeah, and that would have been, it's going to be tight in that, like there's a lot of people around the house too. So, no, we were staying in a hotel the night of the wedding, but all the other nights,
house.
I'll be at the house.
Nice.
Yes.
How long's the flight to South Africa?
We are flying to, you can fly direct, but it's only on certain days. There's a direct flight.
Not from the Vineyard.
No. I'm flying from New York, but there's you can fly straight to Johannesburg, but I'm flying to Cape Town. But then there's an Atlanta to Cape Town flight, so it's like you still have to fly. But anyways, there's a lot of different options for the day that I want to leave. There is only so many choices. We're connecting through Dubai.
Oh,
which I would have been very I would have loved to have stayed a couple days in Dubai, perhaps, just because I'm so intrigued.
Isn't that airport like ranked one of the best airports?
Yeah,
in the world?
yes, it is.
That's
we have
cool.
a really quick layover though, which honestly was like kind of like
that lounge,
like kind of like made me sad. Like
Yeah.
I kind of wanted us to have a longer
Experience,
layover.
yeah.
Which of course, like a quick layover is nice, but it is supposed to be quite the experience, that airport. So yeah, we have a quick layover. Dubai, New York to Dubai, Dubai to Cape Town.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a full, like we leave on Tuesday, and we arrive in Cape Town at some point. I can't completely remember the exact time, like late Wednesday afternoon.
We're back to one of those time zone
it's a long.
situations.
I couldn't even tell you what the time difference is.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
looking
even
up
think
right
about it.
I haven't looked.
Don't even think
I don't
about
know why
it.
I haven't looked. That's something I should know.
Right.
But what
Yeah.
time is it right now in Cape Town?
4:56 p.m. Today.
4:56. Okay. So it's
4:56 p.m. on Monday?
yeah.
Oh.
So
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible. See, it's like
What?
it's like
That's
Europe.
like, yeah, that's not bad at all. You're
This
the
is
same.
gonna
At least it's the same day.
Yeah, this is gonna sound really stupid, but it's like when the east to west, obviously, when you're flying, time changes. But when you think about,
Honey, you're not going to sound stupid to me. I have no idea what I'm
like
talking
north
about.
to south, it's like it's the time. They stay the same. The time
Listen.
zones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
When we
when the
crossed the
Eagles
Fiji.
played in Brazil, everyone was like, "Oh, like that's a crazy trip. Like, what's the time difference?" It is a long flight, but the time difference is like an hour because it's not.
That's crazy.
It's not.
What's
Like
what's that line
crazy
called?
difference.
There's that line that it's called. We crossed it when we went
The
to
equator?
Fiji.
Yeah,
No, not the equator.
We crossed the international date line.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh.
That's when we flew to Fiji.
Yeah.
And we just went back. We just went back a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Woo!
time travel.
Yes.
Just a little bit of time travel. So, yeah, that's why I've got different corners of my apartment now where there's like honeymoon things. I thought I was being proactive. I thought I was going to like get a jump on switching around my closet a little bit because I'm like, oh, by the time we come back,
It's gonna be cold.
it's October, it's fall. Like I should put some of my sweaters in my closet.
You know what? Like, you are gonna be gone a long
I
time.
am
Like,
gonna
it
be
just
gone a
hit
long
me. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no. See you on like October 10th.
Later than that. So much time is gonna pass. You're gonna be gone. I'm not gonna see you from September 23rd to like October 11th.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's a long time. It's the most time we've ever been apart from each other. Since
Truly.
we met.
No, in 7 years.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the most time we've ever spent apart.
Yes.
It's more just gonna be like, hey, like when you
No, I
walk back
know.
in the door, it's be like, hey, like this is gonna be like awkward. Like we like know how to talk to each other.
I don't know.
We truly
maybe
talk-
We might change. We might look different.
No, I hope not. We talk so much. I was trying to find a text between us yesterday.
Yeah.
And it took me so long to scroll. It was like 2 days ago. And I was like scrolling, trying to find it. And I was like, why is this so long? Like, I was like, oh my God, we really do talk a lot.
All the time.
Like people think we talk a lot in person. They don't even realize how much we're talking over text.
know.
Speaking
We
of
got
text.
so much to say.
We do. Speaking of text, I had a group chat with your family on Friday night. That was killing me because I texted your mom, your brother, and your sister. I had a question for them.
Yeah.
And your brother like didn't respond to anything I was asking, by the way. But that's fine.
That's kind of been his MO these days.
And
he's just been a little, not to put him on blast, but his texting has been not great.
No, he just didn't respond
His
to like
response
your
time.
mom and your sister were helping
Yeah.
me out, and your brother just responded back with some funky emoji.
Yeah, yep. Sounds about right.
And your mom
Sounds
wrote
about
back,
right.
what does that emoji mean? And he wrote serving cunt. And I sent back this picture. It says putting the cunt in country.
Yeah.
And she wrote, sorry I asked, exclamation point. I was crying. I was like, man, I kind of want this group chat to keep going, not to, whatever. We were having fun.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
We were
God.
having fun.
Yeah.
Well,
That's gonna be fun.
I'm excited for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give another speech today, but maybe I will tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow.
Maybe-
Before
maybe
it's our
tomorrow.
our last episode pre-wedding.
I'm so excited for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I got you something really cool.
Ooh, you just can't.
I can't.
You can't.
No,
You
I
just
literally can't. I almost
And
made
I already know what it is because you asked me.
No,
Oh, this is something else.
something else.
Oh my God, a spoiled princess.
Yes, you are. I spoiled you, honey. And well, the reason that I got you that is because
Yeah.
I really had to ask if you had
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you had, yeah.
And then I
that's
told
fair.
your mom about it, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't even like it was."
Neither of us were, yeah.
Yeah. So besides the point.
Yeah.
I got now we're talking circles.
Yeah, we're talking.
I got
yeah.
Fran a cake server and knife personalized that she'd use on her wedding day, because it's so nice to keep that, and like maybe you can use it since your birthday and your wedding anniversary are going to be back to back. Like maybe each year you can use it.
Use it, yeah.
Which is nice.
Which is beautiful. So thoughtful. You would think I would know more about.
Well, you're the first in your family.
Yeah, that is true.
So I think
literally the first family wedding in my family,
right?
On my mom and dad's side.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
there has been a trillion weddings in my family, and so I think that is maybe why like some things.
Yeah, we're doing,
because even around your bridal shower, your mom was texting me like, "What do we do?"
No, my mom texted me yesterday. She was like, "Are you doing the whole something old, something new, something?" I was like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think you have to. It's like depends. It's up to you.
I think it's a total preference.
Yeah.
And also, I was like, the wedding's in 6 days, so I feel like I probably would have had to be a little more prepared if that was something I wanted to do.
Gathering things, yeah. But there was something else I got, and I literally almost made a video yesterday being like, if your Fran keeps scrolling and then show everybody.
I literally would have watched it so fast.
Everyone would have sent that to Fran.
And I stopped. I was like, do not post this, because I just was so excited and I wanted to show people.
Yeah.
But then I decided you can wait till Tuesday. I'm so bad with surprises because I get so excited. Like
even the guests, you're like, should I say the guests?
Yeah, I know. I just get so excited about things.
No, but I get it, because I get the exact same way, especially when you get a good gift. Like Joe's birthday is the 25th, and I got him something for his birthday. Nothing crazy, but something that he wanted, and it came this weekend, and it was in a big box, and I was just like, got up next to him on the couch and went, "You want to open your birthday present?"
It's the best. It's so exciting.
And he was like, "Oh my God, it's here." And I was like, "Yeah, it came today. Do you want to open it?"
It's in that box right there. It's like, fuck it. Why not?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Why not?
Yep.
So that's how I felt. And then I stopped myself. So that is.
I do appreciate that, because I would have watched the video. There's no way I would.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
I thought that maybe you wouldn't have.
No. I would have maybe watched it and been like, no, I didn't watch. But I would have watched.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, good. Good thing I didn't post.
Yeah.
There was something else I wanted to bring up. Ugh. And now this is going to kill me. I can't remember.
That's all right.
I can't remember what I wanted to say.
Maybe it'll come back at another.
Maybe it'll come back to me
at another
tomorrow.
point. How was your weekend? You went to.
Oh, I had a lovely weekend.
Pizza?
Yeah, I stopped by Pizza Fest on Saturday. I had some pizza.
What an event!
Yeah, so many people.
What a beautiful day.
Gorgeous day. So much pizza.
I was jealous of all the pizza that was being eaten.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
Friday night, I had myself a lovely night on Friday. Okay, Matt was traveling for work somewhere. He came back Saturday morning, but he was gone all Friday, and I was like doing some just like house chores all Friday.
Sounds like he was almost on like a secret mission.
No, he
was away for work somewhere at an undisclosed location.
I gotta be honest, it's because I'm so confused.
Yeah, you're like, I don't even know where he was.
I'll tell you where he
was.
He was in Iowa
Okay.
with Eddie, who also works at Barstool, and they were at some baseball game.
Yeah.
Girls were DMing me. They were like, I just watched your fiance throw out the first pitch at some baseball game in Iowa.
Interesting.
And
was it like a AAA situation?
I don't know. That's why it sounded suspicious when I said it, because they explained it to me, and I still am not sure what they were doing in Iowa.
Yeah.
But
anyways, that's where they were.
Anyways, they were at a baseball game in Iowa doing something. They were shooting hot dogs out of a cannon, I heard. I don't know. Whatever. Besides the point.
Kissing babies. You know.
Shaking hands, kissing babies. I was home just doing, things around the apartment, and I was like, you know what? Why am I going to sit home and order dinner in? Why don't I go out to eat by myself? And that's exactly what I did.
I love that.
And it was glorious. I sat by the water. I had a nice glass of wine. I had this amazing salad, some scallops, some whipped ricotta with honey. It was delicious. I had myself a really divine time.
I actually, every once in a while, like that the eating a meal alone is so nice. And I feel like you don't get the opportunity that often. But when you're at other people's weddings, that's when the opportunity normally arises for me, because when like if Joe's in the wedding, you know, they're, or vice versa, it's like you got a whole day, a whole afternoon where they're off doing their thing. Love to go get, you know, a nice lunch by myself. But I did that 2 weekends ago. Like sat at the bar, had a lovely glass of wine, had a salad, a nice lunch. But sometimes Joe threw out a random, he was like, you know, Americans are actually starting to eat out alone way more now. And I'm like, did you make that up? Like, where did you see that? But I believe it.
No, I believe it too.
I believe it because I feel like I've seen more people.
It's a nice thing. I even dressed up.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm going to dress up for myself and go eat by myself and not feel like I've just been inside all day.
Yep.
My friends were busy. I was like, but it doesn't even matter. What does it matter? You don't need to be with anybody. You could go eat by yourself.
Did the waiter offer you a magazine?
What?
You know, like in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, he's like, do you want a magazine? You'll probably be bored.
Yeah, no, I was just like, you know, you're on your phone.
You have your phone.
You're on your phone, whatever.
Yeah.
But I had a beautiful view, so I found myself just staring out, sipping the wine. I was like, do I look really mysterious right now? You know, I was like, I feel like I look like, you know, big time fashion magazine editor. Yeah, yes. But it was lovely.
It was such a beautiful weekend.
It was so gorgeous,
like,
and then
weather just to be outside was so nice.
And then Saturday they came back from Iowa early in the morning, and we went to Pizza Fest, had some great pizza, and then
any favorites?
This place Joni's was really good, which I don't think is in New York. I actually think it's somewhere else.
Yeah.
Zapardi's was really good. Luigi's was really good in Brooklyn. It was all.
Yeah, I mean, it's great pizza all around.
And then at some point, they all start blending together.
Yeah, right.
After 8 slices, you're like, okay.
I mean, it's fantastic. Only the best Pizza Fest.
Yeah, it was really good. And then Sunday was just football Sunday, where Matt watches football and I nap for 3 hours next to him. Which is the recipe.
About right.
I had a fucking fantastic chicken parm hero though yesterday. It had me smashing the table. Like I was like,
so good.
I got a different sandwich. This is classic.
Yeah.
I got a healthier sandwich. Okay, on Sunday.
Yeah.
And Matt got a chicken parm hero. And I'm looking at this chicken parm hero, and I'm like, holy fuck! I gotta have some of that. I gotta have it. And I was making noises that I've never made before eating this chicken parm hero. You know, I just because.
Oh my god! I
besides Saturday
so
with Pizza
bad.
Fest, like I've just been trying to eat healthy. We got a lot of things coming up.
No, believe me, I've been dreaming about the meals that I'm going to have
in South Africa. It's going to be amazing. But you know, it's classic. You got a big events coming up. You try to eat healthy.
Yeah.
It's all about, also for me, I think about my skin. When I eat better, my skin is better. And I notice if I eat a little shittier that week, my skin will like act out. So that's a big thing for me. But this chicken parm hero, I was like, like I couldn't believe how fucking good it was. It was unbelievable. And that's my exciting weekend. Yeah. That's really it.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It really was a beautiful weekend.
I'm excited for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
We have an episode this Wednesday, and then we don't have an episode on Friday, and we don't have an episode on Monday. But we will have an episode next Wednesday, and Fran will be on the episode.
Yeah. You will hear from me post-wedding.
Yeah, we are going to do a wedding recap.
Yeah. I will just be in my apartment.
Yes.
And you will be in Chicago.
And I will be in Chicago fighting for
$250,000.
It keeps me up at night. Truly, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
But
I don't blame you.
It's great that I really won't be thinking about it at all this week because we got more exciting things going on. That is
just gonna slap you in the face when you land in Chicago.
It's a future me problem when I fly from Martha's Vineyard to Chicago on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I fight with my coworkers for a lot of money.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, let's get into the rest of the show. We got Emmys talk. Emmys were Sunday night.
Yeah.
Ben and Jen were seen having a little rendezvous at the Beverly Hills Hotel this weekend. Okay, you crazy kids. Kendall Jenner and Devin Booker, maybe a little rekindling.
Another one that's like, rekindling.
Rekindling. We've said that before, haven't we? If not, shout out to me.
Yeah. I don't know.
my brain feels good this
A
week.
rekindle.
You know, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm on it.
Wow, that went right over my head.
That's how good it is.
It took that.
Until
It just
said
got
it,
you?
It just got me right now.
Wow.
I was like, why is it such a big deal for her to say rekindle?
Rekindle.
Well, that's because she was saying
Because I was saying
rekindle.
rekindle is a play on words. Ha. Weekly Watch Report, and we have an interview with Jessi and Mayci from The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, which everybody's interested in these days. So I think it's a great interview if you've been watching the show, and if you haven't, you still learn a lot about Mormon life. So let's get into it, starting off with the Emmys. Check out the new NFL line by Abercrombie. All teams are now available. It's vintage fit hoodies, sweatshirts, and graphic tees. You guys may have seen us wear some of it. We wore some for our tour photo shoot, posted online. Fran wore her Eagle sweater last week. There's so many amazing sweatshirts, sweaters, and t-shirts for NFL with Abercrombie. And there's newness dropping this Thursday from Abercrombie's wedding shop collection as well. They have an amazing wedding shop collection, whether you're a guest at a wedding, weddings coming up, amazing selection at their wedding shop collection. So shop new arrivals every week at Abercrombie. They're always dropping new stuff. I look at Abercrombie every week and I go to new arrivals and I see what they got going on. I just got myself a new trench coat from Abercrombie. I cannot wait for the weather to change so I can start wearing it. So shop new arrivals every week at Abercrombie. The Emmys were Sunday night, to our surprise.
Yeah, I completely forgot about this. I think a lot of people did. This is our second Emmys this year.
I think that's why.
Which really threw people off because there was an Emmys at the beginning of this year, but that was because of the writer's strike had postponed the Emmys last year. So the 2023 Emmys were the beginning of this year, and then this 2024 Emmys were last night.
Do you think I have to get my nails
All in
done
the same
before your
year.
wedding?
I actually was looking at your nails when we started, and I thought she really doesn't need to.
I don't think I have to.
I don't think you need
They're not
to.
really grown out at all.
No, they're not. I think they look good. I really don't think you need to. What are your toes looking like?
I'm getting those done.
Okay. I'm not gonna ask you to show me, but
Don't worry. I'm getting a pedicure. But yes.
no, but they do look good.
Okay,
They
thank
look
you.
good,
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna get
I
them
think,
done
Yeah.
then. But yes, the Emmys were Sunday night, and it was hosted by
Yes, Dan and Eugene Levy.
and they're a father-son duo.
Yeah, good duo. They're cute. They're harmless. They're Canadian.
Right. They're no
They're not gonna push any buttons.
They're no Martin Short and Steve Martin. though.
No. No, I did text you because they did their little opening number. And it was, like I said, fine. Like
Yeah.
they're a very cute combo.
Yeah.
And then immediately after Steve and Martin, huh?
Yeah,
I
weird,
never
right?
really said that out loud.
Same thing happened to me
Till-
2 seconds ago when I said
Yeah.
it. Steve Martin
Martin.
and Martin Short.
Yeah, right.
Steve Martin.
Steve and Martin.
Steve
Steve and
Martin.
Martin and Selena all came out to announce the first award, and they did a little bit, and it was great.
Are people not going to catch on as to what we're saying? Should we
No,
explain it further?
I think they will.
Steve Martin's
Steve
last
Martin.
name is Martin.
Yeah,
Martin Short's
Steve
first
Martin
name
Short.
is Martin.
They're basically just one person, Steve Martin Short.
Yes.
If this was the game of the dozen, that would be a clue for Jeff D does a category like that, where it would be like, but now they're like they're on the same, like, cheaper by the dozen actor who also solves murders in a Hulu show. Like, that's, and you have to do Steve Martin Short. They're the same.
Gotcha.
Steve Martin Short.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting category.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's
Yeah,
a fun
makes
one.
sense.
It's a fun one. Can be tough, but it's a fun one. Yeah, they did their little bit. They're fantastic.
Do you think it was a hard launch? Oh my God.
A hard launch.
Why did that just happen?
Hard launch.
Why was the most absurd accent about to come out of my mouth?
Martin.
Do you think it was a hard launch between Meryl and Martin?
They just seem to be sitting next to each other, They're friends. It didn't seem anything more than usual. If we caught a little PDA moment, maybe, but it just seemed like they were, the cast was sitting next to each other.
I really admire their friendship.
Martin and Meryl.
Yeah, I do.
It's beautiful.
I think older friendships like that are beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. They're a delight, and
They could just enjoy each other's company.
Yeah. Yep.
It's as simple as that.
Yep. I thought Selena looked beautiful. Benny Blanco was there with her, sitting, right next to her in the front row, supporting her. She was nominated, which is great. And then I'll be completely honest. Like, I will watch any award show, and I will enjoy it. I will say that was good.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed my time, but there's not too many crazy things that happened during the Emmys last night. It was a really just well executed. Went through all the shows. Everybody had their great moments. People won awards. They had nice speeches.
It was as standard as an award show as they come.
It really was.
I'm really happy Hacks won for comedy series because Hacks is so underrated in my eyes. I love Hacks. I think it's a fantastic show. And I gotta be honest, when the first awards that started going out and it was The Bear, I'm like, The Bear can't win every award.
Yeah.
They just can't. Jeremy Allen White is fantastic.
Yep. All of the actors and actresses in The Bear are fantastic.
Mm-hmm. But I like when other shows get recognition as well.
I agree, and I do appreciate that. They did win a lot of the individual acting awards, but when it came to a best comedy series, it felt like it really went to a comedy.
Right?
Because that was one of the bigger jokes
that was a funny joke.
Dan and Eugene made at the beginning was about The Bear. Everybody talks about The Bear not being a comedy, which, just like The Bear, we don't have any jokes for that. Basically that was...
It was a very funny joke.
Yes, it was great because they are right. They're
the fact that The Bear is considered a comedy makes zero sense. Why not just consider it a drama?
I think it has to do with runtime.
Or did it? Oh, really?
Yeah,
I was gonna say, did it start off like a comedy and turn to drama?
That's absurd. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it's like I want to say the last time I looked this up, there is an answer. The Bear is considered a comedy because the show's producers see it as one. Okay.
Or do they see it as a easier way to win?
That's it. The Television Academy of Arts and Sciences doesn't actually enforce any definitions of what a comedy is. Think about it for a moment. Comedy is quite subjective. It's hard to say, quote, a show must have this many laughs per minute to be considered a comedy. So the Academy allows the team behind shows to determine what category they will enter the awards competition in. Plenty of programs classified as comedies are not laugh-a-minute shows. Blah, blah, blah. The Bears blend provides an even lower laugh to drama ratio, But the producers have said they see the show as a comedy. And that's fair. They said there's also an argument that the pile of awards The Bear has won, including Best Comedy at January's Emmy Awards, would be a lot smaller if the show was competing in the drama category. So it's like producers strategically place it in the comedy category, which... legit. I mean, I guess it. I get it. Makes sense.
From a producer standpoint, I understand them trying to see it that way, but I don't know how they see it as a comedy. It's straight up not a comedy. It's just not a comedy.
If you were a real comedy, you'd be like, what?
It says that the producers consider all the storylines that they use, that a lot of the characters deal with their emotions through comedy.
They have an interesting lens on comedy.
The first episode of this past season, to say that was from a comedy show is insane.
No,
it's
not a comedy. It's
right.
not a comedy.
Yeah.
It's just not a comedy. I don't care what these producers say. It's not a comedy.
Yeah.
These producers can weasel their way into awards all they want. Great show, not a comedy.
Yeah. Did you know that? I didn't see this. That Hannah Einbinder from Hacks.
Yeah.
Apparently her mother, Lorraine Newman, who's also an actress, tweeted and deleted, "Fuck the bear."
No, I didn't see
All
that.
caps with a lot of exclamation points after her
That was
daughter
my
lost
burner.
the comedy supporting actress Emmy to the bear actress. Adding in another post, "The Bear is a great show, but in my honest opinion, it's not a comedy." Yeah, I
Fair.
get it. I get it.
Completely fair point.
I get it.
Because she's fantastic in Hacks.
Yeah. Yep.
And actually funny.
I don't know. It's just that according to the rules governing the upcoming Emmy Awards ceremony,
Right, we heard the rules.
I know, but now it's like changes. Primarily, the distinction between a comedy series and a drama series is the content of the episodes being primarily comedic. For comedic series entries or primarily dramatic, that's what they asked for.
It's primarily dramatic.
Yeah.
It's not primarily comedic at all.
I'm actually like in my head trying to think of like funny moments.
Oh, so it
Me
was a
too.
rule until 2021 and then they changed it. The current definition differs from previous rules that were in effect until 2021 that series with half-hour episodes were considered comedies, while shows with longer episodes were classified as dramas.
How the frick does that make sense?
I don't know.
Just because something's shorter means it's funny?
Yeah, I don't know.
The
don't
math
know.
is not mathing. 4 + 4 does not equal 8 in this conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. Variety reported in June that competitor networks have tried to push the Television Academy to review the Bears category placement, citing multiple unnamed industry sources, adding they likely would not gain traction because the placement of comedy dramas has been a long-standing debate that has impacted other programs at film and television award shows. And yeah, some executive producer is adamant that they consider the show a comedy. And then it puts like they put the actors on the spot too, being like, "You could think the Bears comedy." Like last night, I think some of them were like, "Comedy, drama, whatever." For them, who cares? They're winning, you know.
They're like, I got this award in my hand, so fuck it.
Exactly. They're like, if I'm gonna win, like I'm gonna win.
I'd be like, who cares?
Yeah. Comedy, drama, whatever.
What does it matter? I'm
Yeah.
still winning, bitch.
Exactly. So they took home a lot of awards. Baby Reindeer was a big one for limited series.
Sent from the iPhone.
Yeah, they did. They racked up the awards too. He won, she won. They were fantastic. That show like still haunts me thinking about it.
Right. That show was hauntingly good.
Yeah.
And obviously a real life story, which
Right,
makes
exactly.
it even
Which is
crazier.
like what a turnaround for him to live through that, make it a show, and then be, winning Emmys for it. It's crazy.
Shogun also won.
Shogun won, which was amazing. I was so happy for Shogun. Great show. Those actors and actresses are fantastic. I love that Anna won. She is amazing. And yeah, it's
I love when they have
big moments for, I like that's, it's a new show.
Yeah.
It's first season. And they moved around, which was probably smart too, as far as categories. There's a lot of political moves around the Academy categories and such too, because I think they were originally in limited series because they were only going to do one season of the show, and then the show was so successful. I think they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do a second season." So then they moved them to the drama category, which was big because the limited series category was pretty stacked too. So
yeah, I love when they have people who obviously were on famous TV shows come and present, like George Lopez.
yeah,
I was such a big George Lopez fan. Were you guys?
I used to always watch because it would come on like late at night.
Yes, I was obsessed.
I'll be honest, I was the complete
The
opposite.
theme
Really?
song. The theme song.
When
Oh my god.
yeah, when I would be up late in my basement watching TV, like on my computer, and Nick and Knight would transfer, like a lot of sometimes Degrassi was on late too.
Yeah.
And once it would go to George Lopez, I would immediately change the channel.
Really?
Immediately.
Oh
I'd
my
go,
god,
change.
I loved George Lopez.
He's so funny.
It was such a good, funny show. Quiz. What was the big joke about George? Like, what was the ongoing joke about George and George Lopez?
I don't know.
That he had a big head. Come on, if you were such a George Lopez
I wasn't
fan.
a huge. I feel like
I
I
did
more
this to-
watched like the talk show.
I honestly did this to Matt last night too. I did the same thing. I was like, I fucking love George Lopez. He was like, me too. And I was like, okay, then what was the big joke about George throughout the whole show?
Yeah.
And he was like, I have no idea. It's like the same exact conversation that happened. I keep acting like I'm pulling a fast one.
No, you're like, oh, you watched the show? Name 5 storylines.
Yeah. Remember when Freddie Prinze Jr. was on it? Do you remember that?
No, because
I don't think it sounds like Noah really watched the show that much.
You know, I
Name
did.
5 songs.
Yeah.
I did, but then I think I actually
You like Nirvana? Name 5 songs.
I watched like his talk show more often than I watched like his actual show. I think.
Oh, I'm talking about like
No,
George
I know what your show
Lopez,
you're
like
talking
the,
about,
the
yeah.
sitcom.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable. And his
Yeah.
friend Ernie.
I gotta go back and do a rewatch.
No, I never. And to
How
be
many
completely
seasons do you
honest,
think
it
there?
was not
I'm
like
looking it up.
I had nothing to warrant it. I don't know if it was like
There was 6 seasons.
the theme song or what, but I just think it's because it always came on. Like it was like every night
Instead
it
of
always
your
came
other
on.
show. Maybe you just like
so
the
I was
other
like,
shows more.
like every single night.
The
it always
first
comes
season
on.
aired in 2002. Oh, the first season was only 4 episodes. Strange. Maybe it needed to get picked up. And
Did
then
it also come on ABC Family a lot? Am I making that up?
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like I would be up on weekends watching Whose Line Is It Anyway? Which would come on ABC Family.
It says network ABC.
And then after Whose Line Is It Anyway, it would go to George Lopez. I'd
Yep.
be like, change, flip.
Oh my God, you missed out. George Lopez was hilarious.
I did. I totally did.
I like in the
I
Wikipedia.
was watching my
it's like,
ABC Family shows.
George raises daughter Carmen and dyslexic son Max with his wife. Like that feels like you don't need to.
Right.
to
I don't know
say
why
that.
Why they had to,
dyslexic was
like-
thrown in there.
Was that a big story?
Not that I remember, but yeah, I loved that show. Sometimes I think back on those times. I'm like, laying in bed, watching, because it would go like from Full House into George Lopez.
Yeah. Yep.
Good
yep,
times.
yep.
Good times. All in all, though, it was the Emmys.
Yeah, it was nice.
I saw
It was nice.
that they tried to make some commotion online because they said that Matthew Perry wasn't honored during this Emmys. He was honored in the January airing of the Emmys,
Gotcha.
and so people were like upset, but
Fair.
he was in January included. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
It's tough when they do them
Right.
in the same year.
2 in 1 year.
Right. Exactly.
Which I think was why people were confused in the first place. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yep.
it was a good award show.
Yep.
Just a classic award show.
Standard.
Happy for the people that won.
Yeah. Nothing too crazy. The carpet wasn't too crazy.
You know who I cried?
Not a big, everybody looked beautiful. I didn't think there was any like, moments.
The actors from Always Sunny
Yeah.
that are married.
Yeah. Caitlin Olsen and
I cried
Rob
when they walked out
Rob. Yeah.
because I just thought that is
Mac
so I was like, that's just so awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, good for them.
I will say something that maybe will, maybe a little snarky.
Okay.
I think
The
Caitlin
floor is yours.
I think Caitlin Olsen is so fucking funny. Like she is hysterical.
she is. She's in Hacks.
She is?
Yes.
Oh, but see, this is what I fear she has been into too many other sitcoms that just don't do her justice. Like every time I put on a network, sometimes, I think maybe there was one on NBC. I think maybe now there's one coming out on ABC, and the commercial plays all the time.
Yeah.
And now she's like a moonlights as like a murder detective.
Yeah, I
But
was like, is this
she's-
a new show or am I having?
No, it's a new show. It's a new show, and it's on. The commercial comes up all the time now, and they showed it a lot during The Bachelor.
Remember her in Curb?
And her new show is called High Potential, and it's Morgan, a single mom with 3 kids and an exceptional mind, helps solve an unsolvable crime when she rearranges some evidence during her shift as a cleaner for the police department. And then she apparently has just like a knack for solving mysteries.
So you're just like, she's
It's
funnier
just like,
than the
I'm-
shows that
yeah,
she's been given.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
I
with
just
that.
feel like, and then there was
I
don't know. And granted, I haven't seen the show. The show hasn't come out yet. But there was that other one she did. There's been a few.
No, I get what you're saying. Because even in Hacks, I would have never casted her as the role that she is.
Right.
She plays the main actress's daughter, who's like supposed to be a fuck up.
Okay.
And she is funny.
Yeah.
But I think I would have never like put her in that role.
Right.
You're talking about the Mick?
The Mick.
Yeah.
Yep, that was one. I hope High Potential is successful, you know? Because I think she is so great and so funny.
She is hilarious.
But sometimes I'm like sometimes the new, like the network sitcoms can be so hit or miss. I feel like there hasn't really been one like Abbott Elementary is the only one I can think of right now that I am like, that's one I actually consistently watch. And the rest I see commercials for, and I'm like, oh no, that one's not going to grab my attention.
Right. They just don't hit the same.
Emily Osment's in a new one as well.
Oh, really? Well, why don't they bring back Young and Hungry?
Yeah. I loved Young and Hungry.
So did I, and it just ended on a cliffhanger.
The most cliffhanger, I know. They said maybe they were going to do a movie.
It's bullshit. Young and Hungry was fantastic.
I loved Young and Hungry.
And honestly, it's not even on streaming services anymore.
Oh, it's not?
It used to be on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's not on there anymore.
Emily Osment is now starring in a show called Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. Oh,
Cool,
which is
but
a
it's not
spin-off
called-
of Young Sheldon.
Okay, cool, but it's not
It's
Young
like
and Hungry.
A spin-off of Young Sheldon.
How many fucking shows is Young Sheldon gonna have? Give it a rest. Give it a rest.
Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory tree.
God.
Of 30
Young
minutes
Sheldon
sitcoms.
makes me
Trent. It's just
Yeah.
Trent watching.
Young Sheldon makes me sick.
Yeah. Young Sheldon came to an end, you know?
I don't even know where that came from deep within me that I hate Young Sheldon.
There's never one episode of Young Sheldon that I think
I've
I watched.
never watched
I did
it.
watch, I have tried to watch a few episodes of Big Bang Theory and it wasn't for me, but.
Big Bang Theory was fine. My
Yeah.
parents would watch it when I was younger, and I would see it, and I'd be like, this is fine, but it's not like I'm not obsessed with it. But then Young Sheldon came onto the screen, and I thought, enough.
Yeah. Is this the same show?
Maybe I'm jealous he's so smart, and I didn't quite have that, you know?
Yeah. George and Mandy's First Marriage.
And why is it a spinoff of Young Sheldon? Who are they in Young Sheldon?
This is the third television series in the Big Bang Theory franchise and a direct spinoff and sequel to the coming-of-age sitcom Young Sheldon. The series will focus on the marriage of young parents Georgie and Mandy.
Look at how smug Young Sheldon is. You know, look at him.
Well, yeah, I mean, he has to be.
Right, because he's like a genius.
Yeah.
But he's just so smug.
I'll be honest, as someone who doesn't watch Young Sheldon, I can't make the connection between the two shows. They're not telling me what the connection is between this show and Young Sheldon.
Between Grace and Mandy's first marriage.
Yeah, what's the
Georgie.
connection?
Georgie and Mandy.
Georgie
Sorry.
and Mandy.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'm looking at the cast. There's multiple Georges.
There's been 7 seasons of Young Sheldon.
This is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
That's insane.
Young Sheldon took off. That smug ass.
Georgie is the older
Mandy-
brother of twins Sheldon and Missy.
And Mandy is in Young Sheldon. Emily Osment's in Young Sheldon.
Oh. Georgie and Mandy's love story began in Young Sheldon's 5th season. There we go.
That kid's probably making bank.
Young Sheldon.
Yeah.
He is set for life.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Mandy's 12 years older than him? What?
He's 16 in real life, Young Sheldon.
Good for him.
He's not so young anymore.
Good for him. Happy for you, Young Sheldon.
Yeah. Georgie and Mandy's love story began in Young Sheldon's 5th season, where the high schooler's relationship with a woman 12 years his senior was met with disapproval by both of their families. However, when Mandy got pregnant, eventually giving birth to a little girl they named Constance, the couple settled down and won everyone over with their sweet, unconventional relationship. Fans know that the spinoff will focus on the Young family's home life. Oh, which Big Bang Theory fans know sadly ends in divorce at some point.
We have to relive that again.
Yeah, it's got to connect back to Big Bang Theory. Wow, there's just a whole Big Bang Theory universe, you know?
There is, because it was so successful.
The Big Bang Theory universe, which we are not in touch with.
No.
There's really this has absolutely nothing to do with the Emmys, but did you guys see the trailer for the new Laura Dern Netflix movie with Liam Hemsworth?
Yes.
We're really in the age of some older women, younger men movies.
Like our heartthrobs pairing up with our older women idols.
Right.
You're like Zac Efron and
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman.
Which
I don't know if I would call her an idol. I just really love everything she's in. Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
She is spooky.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
Nicole Kidman is scary.
Like in real life.
No, as an actress.
Yeah.
Like she's so good.
Yeah.
She's haunting.
Yeah.
Like we'll talk about The Perfect Couple, but like she's so frightening, but she's so good. You know?
Mm-hmm. But it looks great, but I was like, wow, we're churning these ones out. Like I don't know how these are all getting made at like the exact same time.
People just must have
between the idea of you, and
they have something.
Nicole
for
and
it.
Zach. Now we got Liam Hemsworth and Laura Dern.
They have.
Go off, Laura Dern.
Right, that's a good. If I'm Laura Dern,
yeah,
I'm picking up that script and going.
Yeah, I'll take this one.
I'll take it. Anne did it. Nicole did it.
Yeah.
Where's my spin?
Yep. Looks great,
anyways, that's a wrap on the Emmys. Yeah. Moving on to Ben and Jen. These two were kissing and canoodling this weekend.
So the sources say.
But they're still getting a divorce.
Yeah, there's no picture evidence or anything like that, but we did see them. There are pictures of them walking in to the Beverly Hills Hotel together. They had brunch with their children on Saturday, and a source told Page Six Ben and JLo are currently at the Polo Lounge at the Beverly Hills Hotel, holding hands and kissing. The kids are with them, but at a separate table. Sources are saying this does not mean the divorce is off, but this is where they're at. JLo was also notably wearing her engagement ring on her pinky finger and a Jennifer ring on her wedding finger. Affleck's children, Serafina and Samuel, and JLo's twins, Emmy and Max, were photographed entering the hotel with them. And yeah, that's all we know.
Damn, these two just can't quit each other.
It's crazy kids.
I have nothing left to say besides these two just can't quit each other. It's like almost like the divorce is turning them on. Like they're like, it's like what they like. Like they like being split up and then, ooh, are we going to get back together?
Right.
Like that's their idea of foreplay.
I feel like Ben likes the drama.
The chase.
And the turmoil.
Yeah.
Once things start to settle, he can't handle that.
Ben is all about the chase though. Like now that he can't have Jen, he wants her.
Yeah.
Well,
crazy.
I think they're still getting a divorce, which I think is still probably for the best. Like I'm not rooting for these two to make it work because I don't think it's gonna.
Right.
So they can kiss and canoodle all they want.
What are they doing?
Up until they're signing those divorce papers.
Right.
Maybe they're putting on a show for the kids. Or maybe they just can't resist.
Why would they put on a show?
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like it's even more. I feel like it's even more inappropriate that the kids were there. It's like, are you separating or not?
It's also like it's not even like they have kids together.
Right.
It's
and
not
they're
even,
like the kids are at the other table. They're just watching their parents like kiss at the table next to them.
And they're probably talking like, what the fuck is up with these two?
Yeah.
Can't they just figure it out?
Seriously. They're like, aren't these guys getting divorced? Like, God, we mom's making us move out. Like, we're moving to a different house. Like, what's the deal?
Why are you putting us through this if you two are kissing?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Moving on to another couple, Devin Booker and Kendall Jenner, seen together. I think they've been seen together like often.
Yeah, there's been some moments
in the past summer. I think
she was in Paris.
Yes, at the Olympics they were seen together. Yeah. Now they're seen together at dinner. I feel like Devin Booker is somebody she always goes back to.
It really does feel that way, which is like. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? You know, is it like, is it a sign that eventually Devin Booker is really the one, or is it like you guys still can't, like it's so on and off?
Right, you can't keep doing this to each other.
Right.
How much are you going to do the on and off? Just like Jen and Ben.
Right.
It's not healthy after a certain point.
Exactly. It's like, do you have to just cut off communication at some point?
She does pull off any hair color though. She's like rocking some blonde
does.
right
She's
now. I
got
don't
a
know if it's a wig
major
or
blonde hair going.
or actually dyed blonde hair, but she looks great.
She can absolutely do it all, obviously. She's got the face for it.
Beautiful face, beautiful hair.
But yeah, this is just like, they just keep coming back to each other, these two, as well.
And they don't particularly interest me, but it's just something I'm keeping tabs on.
Right. And they could certainly have one of those like on off, because it's not like they're, at least to the public eye, it's not like we see them run around dating a ton of other people when they're not together.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they just like take long breaks from each other. I don't know.
And then they miss each other and they're back.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
All right, well, that wraps up the topics. You can make a fall cocktail with some Rum Haven or any cocktail that you wish this upcoming season. Rum Haven is made with real coconut water and no artificial flavors or preservatives for clean and refreshing taste, not fake. You cannot beat the taste of real coconut water. It's delicious, it's clean, and it's refreshing. Rum Haven believes that Mother Nature does it best. That's why Rum Haven is crafted with premium Caribbean rum and real coconut water. You can enjoy Rum Haven straight over ice with a splash of club soda or your favorite juice. So you can find out where to pick up a bottle of Rum Haven for yourself by visiting rumhaven.com. Once again, pick up a bottle of Rum Haven for yourself by visiting rumhaven.com. All right, it's time for the Weekly Watch Report, where we talk about the things we watched this week. Weekly Watch Report on Monday. Weekly Watch Report on Fran's Wedding Week. Weekly Watch Report on Monday.
Remix.
Weekly Watch Report on Fran's Wedding Week.
Love it.
Boom.
Remix.
Remix. My humps. My lovely lady lumps. Check it out. On Monday, we watch TV and then we talk about it.
Ooh.
That's it. I don't fucking know what I watched. Okay, I finished The Perfect Couple. I'll give it a B-.
Okay.
It was quick.
Yeah. I did also firmly decide, because I had some lovely people message me about the show and the show and the book, and they were like, read the book, it's different than the show. So I will read the book.
Okay. Fair
It's
enough.
on my list.
There's just a point where like Nicole Kidman, her like, mask comes off,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
of like
yeah.
who she is pretending to be. And my God, she is just such a phenomenal actress. Like I get scared. I'm not gonna like when I was calling her haunting, like I mean it as a compliment.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
She is really such a good actress.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're like, oh my God, she's scaring me. So I'll give that a B-.
Fair.
I watched The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I'll give that a C+.
Fair.
It was interesting,
Yeah.
and I will continue watching.
And yeah, and if there's a second season, we'll also watch that.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. If there's a second season, I will watch the second season. I just don't think I was as blown away as everybody else, but I'll give it a C+.
Okay.
There was no challenge
no
episode this
challenge
week because of the VMAs. I
Did you watch
rewatched
the new episode of Tell Me Lies?
Yes, the new episode of Tell Me Lies. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Not as good as the first two
Yeah, yeah.
at all.
Well, the first two really
Yeah.
I feel like they slapped us in the face because they were just setting up new storylines that we just didn't see coming.
This episode will give a C+.
Yeah. And then now it's like in between stuff.
I watched.
Can we talk about the episode for a second?
Sure.
I have to say.
I just don't want to spoil if people haven't been caught up.
That's fine. But I feel like everybody's watching
Yeah.
it when they come out. So I'll label it spoiler alert if you haven't watched the third episode. But we're going to talk about the third episode. The Lucy like going back to Leo, anger issue Leo. That's his name, right? Yeah. Bad move. It's crazy to watch these people make mistake after mistake, because it's like the poor girl is so emotionally just destroyed from Steven that she's like, maybe the guy that randomly headbutts people in cafes isn't that bad.
She will take anything at this point.
She's like, and even Pippa, I think it was Pippa being like, well, at least he owned it. It's like, no. And him being like, yeah, I have anger issues. I black out. I don't know what happens to me, and then I can't control myself. That's not the guy you want to date.
No,
that's not the guy you want to date.
Definitely not. And we know where this is headed, which is not good.
It's just
Lucy
not good.
Makes the worst decisions
not
ever.
Good.
But fucking
Steven.
When he pulled her in and said, "You're so embarrassing," he's the most hateable.
Oh my God.
Character ever.
And he got her good.
He got her good
in that
he
moment.
like pranked her. He punked her.
Yeah.
He got me too.
Yeah.
No,
that's why he's so good. Like Jackson White is so
he's so good. He's so manipulative.
Because I thought that too. I was like, oh my God, now they're gonna hook up.
I was like, they're 100%.
No, there's nothing worse than being like you're so embarrassing.
Ugh.
Like, oh, what a dagger.
Yeah.
And then her immediately like running to tell Diana.
Yeah.
And Diana not really believing her, but then you could tell she does believe her. It's like Lucy just makes the most worst decisions ever, but you also feel bad for her.
Yeah.
But it's just like that's the complex character.
Yep. 100%. And I'm already tired of the
teacher.
Bree and the teacher thing.
I know. Makes me
sick.
It's
just been done so many times.
I'm just it literally just it does not sit well with me. It gives me a tummy ache.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I'll give that episode a C+.
Okay.
But that moment was an A+.
Yeah, it was.
Of Steven being like, "You're so embarrassing."
Yeah.
Like, he's obsessed with her. He's in love with her.
Oh yeah.
He's embarrassing.
They're both absolutely out of their minds.
Gosh, it's good.
Yeah.
And I watched The Other Woman. We love that movie.
Fantastic movie. God, great movie.
It's a great movie. We talked about it with Kate Upton when she was here. That's a classic.
It is.
I'll give it a B+.
I think that's an A movie for me. I'm not gonna
really?
lie. Yeah. I don't know what it like. It's just because if I'm gonna watch a movie time and time again, and every time I enjoy it, like,
right,
Leslie Mann is so fucking funny in that movie.
Good. She's so good.
Yeah.
Leslie Mann is like the ideal mom.
Just in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I was to have like one celebrity, like to pick a celebrity mom as my mom, I'd pick her too. I
would pick Leslie Mann.
Yeah.
And then Judd Apatow's your dad.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll take it.
Those girls seem like
they seem well-rounded.
Yeah, they do.
I'll take it.
Completely from the outside. They seem like they got good heads on their shoulders.
Yeah, we have no idea. They could be awful. Could be awful. That's it though. That's all I watched.
Okay. I will give this episode of Tell Me Lies a
I felt like a harsh grader this week.
You were a little bit.
People were on me about the C+ I gave Tell Me Lies last week, so
yeah,
I was gonna raise it.
I'll give
but this episode's not better.
Yeah,
than
but that's the first two episodes I thought were better.
This episode, I didn't think it was like worse.
I will agree with you on that. I didn't think there was like a massive step down. I'll give it a B+. I'm just in that range. Like I'm just locked into the show. Finished Wise Guy episode 2. That was the Sopranos documentary, and thought the second episode was great. A lot of insight on James Gandolfini and kind of like what was going on with him filming the show and towards the end, and then they talked a lot about the ending of the show, of course, and they ended the documentary like in an homage to the end of the series, I will say. I thought it was very good. I thought it was extremely well done. I really enjoyed it. I'll give that a B. Thought it was really good.
Damn,
I
gave it an A last week.
gave the first one an A, right? Yeah. The second one was also really good. I'll give the second one an A-, because I gotta grade them similarly. I was thinking about other things while I was watching it, so I was just distracted. But it was.
I thought it was gonna be more episodes. I didn't realize only 2.
Yeah, it was just 2. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, crazy. I really do we talk about it with the girls, but there was a lot of stuff they were talking about on TV that I was like, holy shit, I would not expect them to be talking about this on TV. Mm-hmm. So as far as like juicy reality shows go, I thought it was pretty good. And consistent drama. I'm seeing more of Whitney's videos now, and I'm like, this girl is unhinged. This girl is unhinged.
Yeah.
The videos that they make. Did you see the one? My friend sent it. Did you see the one? I don't know if it was, I don't think it's new. I think it may be older. But it was like date night with my husband or something, and she was laying on the ground, legs spread open, and acting like, and he had a putter, and he was
What?
putting the
Oh my God.
putting the golf ball
I didn't see that.
to go right into the hole. And then the golf, they did something where the golf ball went like flying
Trick
back.
shots?
Yeah.
Oof.
I was like, this girl is absolutely unhinged on social media. So I understand what they were going through and what they were saying about her. I was like, holy shit, that is wild. I will give it a B. I did think it was really good. And I was thinking about it. I was locked in. Will Mom Talk survive this? I will ask that question until the next season when they start to ask that question as well.
It will be the dying question.
Yeah. I finished all of Selling Sunset. This new season. Some interesting drama for sure. Like I said, I alluded to the fact that like Chrishell and Chelsea and Emma are all really close. And they were really, really upset that Nicole brought these rumors about Emma onto the show and didn't let Emma address them. They were just talked about in the background. Like Nicole tried to give them to Brie as ammo, that she was like having an affair with a married man, the whole thing. So they were very pissed about it. A lot of social media posts. Emma addressed it. She said she was like completely false. She worked with some guy on a deal and then like, and whatever, that was it. Like it didn't never went further than that. And the drama with Brie, I will say, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really see a lot of Selling Sunset discourse online in my like day to day. So my opinion after watching the show, like I don't mind Brie. I know the show is kind of like made Brie out to be the villain a little bit, but I like Brie. I think she's a straight shooter. I think she's funny. I enjoy her, and I think she's great for the show. And I do kind of believe her. Like there's this random girl, Amanda, I don't know what the hell she has to do with anything, but she goes to Brie, says, oh, I heard that Chelsea's husband's cheating on her, blah, blah, blah. Brought to the show, Brie tells Chelsea. Now that's like the whole storyline for the rest of the season. They all freak out because they think Brie set it up to bring the girl on, to make this admission, to like get Chelsea, because Chelsea came for Brie a lot last season. And Brie was like, I didn't know that was what she was going to say. Mm-hmm. And call me crazy, I do kind of believe her. But I don't know if that's exactly how it goes or not. But it was good drama at the end. There was a dog funeral, R.I.P. to Mary and Jason's dog. They had a full dog funeral. They all dressed to the nines. Obviously drama at the dog funeral.
Of course.
It's just the Selling Sunset way. I will give Selling Sunset a C+. Selling Sunset will always fall in the C+ range for me, and I will always consistently watch it. Like I haven't missed a season, so I'm still watching.
I tried to watch
Selling Sunset.
I tried to watch.
Yeah. It was like a slower start to the season, I will say. Post Brie getting that information about Chelsea, the drama picks up.
It's just like background noise for me.
Yeah,
it's hard.
And I will say I have it on that way a lot too. Like as I was like moving stuff around in my closet and like doing stuff, I just like had it on and was listening to a lot of it. What else did I watch? Oh, Joe and I have started Sex in the City. I've seen a lot of Sex in the City. I don't know if I've ever like watched episode 1 to the last episode front to back. And Joe's never seen it, and he was like, I kind of want to watch. And I was like, okay. So we watched like the first 6 episods of Sex and the City randomly throughout the week. It's great, you know.
It's a good binge watch.
It is for sure. I feel like it'll just be I feel like it's just like a B for me all around. Like it's a good show, you know. And That's how I feel about it. And we'll just that's one of those. Hey, we watch this. Let's throw something on before we go to bed. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the movie Invictus, which I have not seen.
Great movie.
Joe and I were kind of like, oh, we're going on our honeymoon, going to South Africa, and this movie is about the South African rugby team and Nelson Mandela in the 90s. Great. It's a really, really good movie.
The ending quote in that movie,
Matt Damon.
I used as my high school yearbook quote.
Wow. Strong.
Yeah.
Strong quote.
Yeah.
I'll give it a B+. Really good. I thought it was very good.
Solid.
But yeah, there was like just watching. There was another one that I really want to watch that I've never seen. A Meryl Streep movie that I'm forgetting the name of. But
That's like in South Africa?
yeah. I don't know if it's South Africa or just Africa. Oh, it's literally called Out of Africa.
There you go.
I don't know how I didn't remember
Yeah.
that.
Maybe watch that on the way home.
Yeah.
But yes. So that was good. That's everything I watched.
Okay. So yeah, I watched Tell Me Lies, episode 3.
Did I grade Tell Me Lies?
I think you started
Yeah,
it with grading it. You gave it like a B-, or you gave it
I think you said a B+.
B+. Okay, yeah.
plus,
Okay.
I'll give it a B-. I think I was a little harsh last week, and I am like locked in. As much as I like hate all the characters.
Yeah.
And
I think I want to change mine to a B-.
It has you locked in.
Because I'm so locked in. I can't go from
Wednesday?
A to...
Okay, Tell Me Lies. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know I'm anticipating the next episode. Yeah, I think I was just like, I forgot what the show was. And the first 2 episodes were like jarring. But yeah, I'll give it a B-. I watched the 2 episodes of Wise Guy. Honestly, from the very start, I was like, oh, wow. I don't know if David Chase had like a hand in the production of this, but it was very unique the way that they like edited the documentary together. And like,
Yeah, I was
very
curious
stylized.
too. I was wondering. I feel like maybe he had
I would
like
assume.
approval or something.
Yeah.
But when he walked into the room and they made it look like the
Yeah. The
doctor's office, like he seemed to not know that that's what
Yeah.
it was going to be. You know?
Yeah, I like when he was talking in circles at one point, and they're like editing himself over himself.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
all that was cool, and just all the interviews, and it makes me want to watch Sopranos again.
Yeah, it
but
does. It does.
I'll give that an A. I thought it was
Yeah.
really good. School of Rock, I just threw it on. I was like hungover. I'm like, I just saw that.
Yes,
Yeah, why not?
That's an A+. Like,
It really is.
honestly, like, I don't know if it was because I was hungover or what, but like I was crying at points. Like when the kids are like, I'm
was
not
emotional.
I'm not cool, like all that stuff. I'm
It's
like,
emotional.
Yeah.
damn. I watched the new Netflix movie Rebel Ridge. I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah.
No.
I've seen. A lot of people were like, it starts really good and then it kind of just falls apart. I mean, it has a 95 on Rotten Tomatoes, but I thought it was good. It's just like a fun action movie.
Yeah.
Give it like a B-. I was entertained. Anna Sophia Robb's in it, which I thought was good. Land of Bad. It's another 2024 movie. That has Luke Hemsworth, and I just looked it up, and I didn't.
Luke?
It has Luke Hemsworth.
Wow.
I thought Luke wasn't an actor.
Well, here's the thing. I looked it up because I was like, I just want to double check that it's Liam Hemsworth. He's the main guy, and it is Liam Hemsworth. Then I see next to him Luke Hemsworth. I'm like, that's Luke? He was in the whole movie. I didn't know that was his
Damn.
brother.
Wow. I didn't know that
Um,
Luke was acting. I thought he was like not an actor.
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh.
But also it's got like Russell Crowe. It's got Milo from this.
Ventimiglia.
Ventimiglia
What?
from
Yeah,
Gilmore
yeah.
Girls.
Yeah.
Wait. From Gilmore Girls?
That's how I remember
Oh,
him.
okay.
From This Is Us.
Yeah, This Is Us. Like a war movie, very much like Lone Survivor-esque. Don't want to spoil anything, but it was like an entertaining movie. It wasn't anything groundbreaking, like C+. Honestly, I thought Liam was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like he gets a bad rap.
Yeah, look, he's got a big movie with Laura Dern coming out.
It's a big movie.
Yeah. And then I watched Industry, the newest episode of Industry. I don't necessarily like where the show is going now. I don't know what happened.
You're in, but
Interesting,
you're
I
not.
don't know what
Interesting.
happened to Kit Harington. Like, he's just not in it anymore. And a lot of the characters that I liked, like, aren't involved in the last couple episodes. And it's just, like, very intense. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's very...
It's taking a turn.
It's taken a turn. A I'll give it.
For the worst in your mind.
I'll give it a B-, but I hope it picks back up.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. That's everything we watched this week.
This interview is presented by Coors Light. When life gets hectic this season, choose chill and then reach for a Coors Light. Traffic too jammed? Head to a happy hour with friends instead and then reach for a Coors Light. Sun setting too early for your outdoor plans? Hit up a local trivia night and enjoy a Coors Light. When the mountains turn blue, it's as cold as the Rockies. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged for a smoother finish. We got tons of fall events coming up, guys, and I think you know that one of the best things about fall is football being back. So if you are relaxing on your weekend, you got football on TV, whether it's Saturday, Sunday, Friday, you're watching some football, you can crack open your cold Coors Light, relax, or maybe you're headed out with friends to watch at a bar. Make sure you're getting your Coors Light. Fall feels good when you choose chill and then reach for a Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/chicks. And always celebrate responsibly from Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
All right, everyone, we are here with two very special guests. We are joined by Jessi and Mayci from The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We are ready to tackle this entire series and talk about your lives.
Yeah.
For better or for worse. We're excited to be here. Let's get going.
It's got to be an absolute whirlwind. First of all, how are you guys feeling now that the show is out? And what was the waiting period like between when you wrapped filming and it airing? Like what was going through your mind during that time?
Well, I feel like we're shocked. Like, I don't think we thought this would be number one on Hulu. Like, we had no idea how big this was going to be. I think when you're in it and you're watching your own life, like, it's not that exciting, right? But, like, when you look at it from the outside perspective, I'm like, okay, I can see it. I think the waiting period was, like when is it happening? When's it happening? It's just, like, a lot of unknowns, and I feel like we were not in the loop until, like, it's like, okay, it's coming out in a month. It's like, oh, like, you just don't really get a lot of information.
And then your life goes back to normal.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's, like, overnight. It was.
It's been overnight, and it's just crazy.
And you guys obviously knew that people were interested in your lives from Mom Talk.
Yeah.
Which is the amount of times, do you think there's a counter on how many times Mom Talk
Can
was
Mom
said?
Talk survive?
Yeah.
That's been my favorite thing is like, I don't know if you guys saw like when Justin Timberlake was arrested and it was
the
like,
world
is
tour.
this going to ruin the tour? And I've just, in my head, it's like I'm walking down the street and I'm like, will Mom Talk survive?
Is Mom Talk?
Yes.
Mom Talk
Oh my
really
God.
survived this.
Yes.
Do you
Will
think
Mom Talk survive this?
Do you think?
Do you
Mom-
guys think Mom Talk
do you think Mom Talk is surviving
I mean,
this
we're
show?
still going strong for the most part. Macy's
Okay,
like,
Mayci has a different answer. What do you
I
feel
mean,
about it?
I feel like most of us are going strong.
group is
There's a
broken
lot
up a
of
little.
tea going on TikTok everywhere. There's some issues in the friend group for sure.
Can you fill us in for the listeners who maybe aren't so caught up? Can you fill us in what's going on online right now, separate from what happened on the show?
Yeah, so I mean, like, the show came out, right? It's clear who the villain is, and I think that's been really hard for her. And so she's now
leaned
leaning in, you know?
it was an
and,
interesting tactic.
I did look at her
and
TikTok.
the girls are fighting because of that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's a mess. I'm not gonna lie, it's a mess.
I've like let loose on her for sure. I'm like, you're a
She's
psychopath.
brutal.
Yeah.
Like texting?
I will
That,
say,
Like public comments.
public.
And public,
Yes.
yeah.
I will say you guys are honest with each other
Yes.
and I respect you for that. Like there are a lot of shows in reality TV where the commentary is behind people's backs.
Yeah.
And I was very surprised to see it a lot of moments when you guys sat down all together. Like you did not hold back, whether it was talking to Taylor, talking to Whitney, talking to Jen about her husband. You guys were like, your husband fucking sucks.
Yeah.
He will never
I
change.
mean,
It's
here's the
crazy.
thing.
Yeah.
If you're going to film a show like that, you guys have to be honest. But it seems like that was the case before the show even started. You
Yeah,
wouldn't
exactly.
just start pulling that out of nowhere.
Yes.
You said that you have been texting.
Yeah.
Can you read some of your texts? Or
Oh my
no?
gosh. Well, so what happened was me and Whitney got in an argument online, and then she put stuff on her story. I put stuff on my story. Then she starts DMing me, and she's like, well, your comment's deleted. And I was like, no, here it is, babe. And I like sent her a screenshot, and she's like, oh, thanks. And I was like, so is this really you? Are you just like leaning so hard into the villain? Like, what are you doing? And then she didn't respond. So I'm like, interesting.
How has this affected your friendship? Because you were the last man standing, it seemed, when the season ended, Mayci.
So I feel like it's been hard for sure. And for me, once everything happened in the show and you see at the end of it, like she didn't come to my event, that right away, like made it so we weren't as close anymore. Because I was like, okay, like I literally had your back through everything, and like the one thing I need support on, you're not there. So that was like a bit frustrating. So I feel like since then we haven't been as close, but also because like she isolated herself. Like I still reached out to her, like that she just didn't really want to see me. Like I was friends with them, and then I thought we were cool. We had to go on some press tour trips and stuff together, and then she's posting personal messages of ours online, and I'm like,
she's on Hinge
okay,
right
like
now. It's
maybe we're
weird.
not cool. I don't know, because I texted her when the show first came out, because I know that she was going to be the villain, you know, to check in on her, and she didn't respond, and then she starts posting personal messages. So I'm like, well, maybe we're not good. I have no idea. We're definitely not as close, regardless of that happening, as friends as we were before we filmed the show.
Yeah.
When anybody starts posting personal messages, that's like when you've lost them, because you're like, that's last resort. You're like, you have nothing to do.
It's
breaking the trust.
To try and
it makes me like not trust anyone.
Yeah.
I'm like, if we were like such good friends and you're posting our personal messages and you didn't ask me or respond to me and you're just blasting it online,
that totally crosses the line.
I was really pissed off, I'm not gonna lie.
Meanwhile, I just asked you to read your messages.
I know, and then I just like let it all out.
I'm like,
me and her are
totally
friends,
crosses the line, but tell me more.
But
I think it's different when it's someone you're friends with and you trust and you're texting
and
them.
Macy's always been in her corner, so for her to let Macy down was disappointing.
Yeah, it was disappointing.
Yeah, I think that's so fair. I would love to know some, I guess, background information too, because I think the show opens up and we kind of we get some background on some people, but not necessarily everybody.
Yeah.
And it seems to be, correct me if I'm wrong, like kind of a different level of commitment to their faith from different people, and they're in it more or less. Where do you guys stand personally?
So I'm ex-Mormon now. Okay. So I left the church about 5 years ago. Okay. So that's why I'm the one like drinking on the show and going to Chippendales and things like that.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I'm active in the church. I'm labeled as a saint, which I definitely don't feel like a saint, but I'm like, I guess maybe compared to the ex-Mormon, maybe I am. I don't know. But I just got put in that group because I got invited to the baby blessing. So
can you, for people who are not like sure what that means, can you describe what that means? Like
to be active?
And considered like a saint?
Yeah, so like I go to church every Sunday. I actually teach 5-year-olds in the church like on Sunday. I'm a worthy temple recommend holder, which means like I can go in the LDS temples that everyone probably sees as like the castles and stuff. Everyone calls them castles. And so what does it mean to be?
You said you're considered a saint?
Oh, yeah. So I guess I'm considered a saint. On the show, basically I got invited to a baby shower, and some of the other girls who they said weren't as spiritual. Is that what they said?
Like, we don't want bad
got
feelings
uninvited.
Like, oh, okay.
It's not like they weren't invited, they got uninvited.
Uninvited.
Yeah.
That's what pissed me off. I'm like, I had it in my calendar, and if you didn't uninvite me, like I had to hear from Macy that we were uninvited, so I would have shown up.
And it's funny because that actually happened off camera, and it's sad, but it was like really funny. I was at lunch with Demi after we filmed something, and she's like, hey, I'm looking at this dress for the baby blessing, and like I think the day before Jen's like saying that she wasn't invited anymore, and I was like, oh. I was like, are you sure you're invited to that? Like, I didn't know what to say. And it was like so awkward that we were both just like laughing. So I'm like, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but like, this is awkward. Like,
right. And you guys can like coexist even though you left the church, and like that you guys, you know, it's your own feelings on it. Right. For the most part. What was that decision like for you?
To leave the church? It was hard because in our community, like it can be like looked down upon and people think you're lost and that you'll come back someday. So it was definitely hard, but I have a great family. My dad's not active. My sisters aren't. My mom is. So that makes it a little tricky, but she's super accepting. But I know people who are like, if you leave the church, you are going to hell. And I definitely have people who feel that way. So it's hard. That's why I'm a sinner. You know, I'm looked down upon. I get uninvited to things. That's pretty normal.
I think it's also part of the culture though. Yeah. Because like I say this on every single podcast, I feel like it's so annoying, but like I'm from California, and the culture in California for Mormons is so different than Utah. Like if someone left the church, it's like, okay, like I wish you the best, like have
that's
a great,
not
like
how Utah is.
You know what I mean? Whereas in Utah, it's like, oh, you know, she's going downhill. It's just different.
Yeah.
Would you consider moving out of Utah?
Yes and no. So I have a couple businesses there, so I feel like it's like a good home base, but I travel so much that I feel like I get the best of both worlds. But it is hard being ex-Mo in Utah for sure.
That makes a lot of sense.
When you guys were all approached for, you know, a reality show, how did you originally feel about it? Because it all really started like when everything blew up, it was kind of just assumed that the whole group was like everyone was like, they're all swingers, like it's everybody.
Everyone's swinging with each other.
How did you guys feel about like being asked to do a reality show where you like I need to make sure that like the record is straight and all those things?
I think a lot of the girls saw it as an opportunity to clear it up and tell the actual story, because you watch the show, you realize it was just Taylor, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like for me, it was like we were already doing like mom talk, doing videos together in this friend group. We're friends. Like, why not take the opportunity to do a show and show it like we're really like behind the scenes? Because you only see like 10 to 30 seconds of us online. Like, you don't know how we really are in real life. So for me, I thought it would be fun to just like show that. And I was like, and if I hate it, I'll just do one season and leave. Like, but I thought I had a great time. So I'll do it again.
I think it made our friend group closer.
It did.
Except Whitney. But I feel like as a whole, like we bonded a lot.
For sure.
And I think that is true, like what you said, like when everything blew up on TikTok, everyone was like, oh my gosh, they're all swinging with each other. Like this is totally opposite from what we thought happened. And then watching the show, you come to realize that's really not the case, but you guys are all involved in each other's lives, and you do have a lot to say about each other's lives. And Mayci, we saw with you and Dakota and Taylor, there was a lot going on there. You received a message about Dakota.
Big cliffhanger.
Yes.
How did you feel receiving that message and then telling Taylor, because you have to tell her?
Yeah. I mean, receiving it, I was like, oh shit. I was like, because it didn't seem like it was completely fake. Like, I get messages where I'm like, okay, I don't think this is real.
Right.
That one seems a little bit real to me. I was like, maybe, but the thing I had to consider is like, maybe the timeline is wrong. Like, maybe this person thinks that they were together and they weren't. So that's why I was like, I need to tell her regardless, because if I was pregnant with this man's baby, I would want to know. But it's a hard situation to be in, because it's like, well, she's pregnant and like they're already having issues. Like, I don't want to stir the pot. So I feel like I had I was in a weird space where I was like, what do I do? But I knew I had to tell her at some point. And I was like, better tell her before the baby comes. Because I feel like postpartum can be harder than pregnancy. Yeah. So I was like, we should just do it now.
Yeah. And you're so right. It's like, well, it's not like she can leave and never see him again. Like, they are having
co-parents,
a baby.
Yeah.
So like,
exactly.
Somebody, you got to tell her.
Exactly.
That's a tough position to be put in as a friend too. To like
it was
receive
hard.
a message. Yeah. So I can imagine.
What was it like also kind of sitting in the room with them, like as they're fighting, and you're just like, why am I here?
Well, that was the craziest thing too, because like I went there to have a conversation with Dakota, and like that was just so crazy that it happened. Like, it wasn't meant to happen. I think Taylor was just triggered by something, and then it was like, all of a sudden I'm in the middle of a fight just watching it, and I was like, oh. But I will say that I, like, from seeing that, I was able to see his perspective for the first time, where I always see hers, because she would come to me on like behind camera being like, oh my gosh, he's doing this, he's doing that. So of course I don't like him, because I'm hearing all these things.
Now you're taking a front row seat to how they argue with each other.
And so I think that actually helped me in a way, because I was like, okay, I can understand parts of where he's coming from. It doesn't show it all in the show, obviously, but I was able to understand his perspective. I don't think he necessarily goes about it the right way. I was like, if it gets any louder, I'm gonna have to step in a little bit, because he's like he's kind of loud, but yeah, I definitely didn't feel like I should be there, but I'm like, I'm glad that you're comfortable enough to argue in front of me, I guess, or maybe you're arguing in front of everyone, I don't know.
And then how do you move forward like with that as a friend, right? Because now in the future, if you see them fight or you hear something, do you step in? Do you stand aside? Like at the same time, because it's at what point, like, do we give it a rest? Like, these two can't be together.
Yeah.
Who says that, or who just steps back?
I mean, it's hard, because like you could tell Taylor, I've given her so much advice, she does like the opposite of what I say.
Yeah, even to her mom, like you see her mom give her advice.
Yeah, so I feel like it's like hard. Like, I mean, they still have arguments here and there and stuff, but I do see
they're together still. Yeah,
they're still together.
We were with
so
them
like
last night.
I was on the flight here with them, so I'm like hanging out with Dakota now, I guess, a little bit. It's like I do see like where he's coming from in certain situations. Like, they definitely have a hard relationship dynamic for sure, but like they're working on it. They do therapy. So I mean, like, I only wish the best for them, because they have a kid together now. Like, I hope they can work it out. I really hope that they can
once
get over,
there's
like,
a kid
toxic.
involved, like it changes everything.
And I think it's hard, because it's like it's reality TV.
Yeah.
Like, like things are gonna happen, and I feel like it's gonna be hard in their relationship regardless.
Look,
if we do a season 2, I feel like it's gonna be hard for them again.
Totally. I give her a lot of credit just for like showing that on TV, because there's a lot of, especially like in a first season, where she's having those conversations with him on camera. They're talking about on camera, the arrests, the whole thing. There's a lot. Like,
there was a lot.
She really put a lot out there. So like I can respect that aspect when you're making reality TV.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of obviously husband drama. We saw that. We saw the Vegas trip, all those things. It seems like more husbands were involved with the show than others. How did your husbands feel about the show?
they're both pretty chill.
Yeah.
My husband is like, he freaking wouldn't hurt a fly. So he's just kind of like, yeah, if you want me to film, sure. If you don't, I don't care.
I feel like our husbands filmed way more than they showed because we only got 8 episodes, so they had to cut it down. But mine is always down for anything. He's like, all right, I'll bring a flask to the party. Who cares what people think? Like,
I don't think my husband would do that, but he's
Right.
Yeah,
But
he won't do things for the plot, but he'll support me in any way he can.
Well, because it's probably like a good thing when you watch the season back and it's like, oh, we filmed a lot more with our husbands, but they must be too boring for like.
No, seriously,
it's a good thing.
In a good way.
Yeah, you're feeling blessed that you were like, they didn't show that because
I'm glad my husband's not Zach right now.
TV.
Exactly.
100%.
Seeing the way, like seeing that dynamic with Jen and Zac and how she like immediately was like, oh my God, so happy that happened. We're so good now. Like, how hard is that to watch that happen to a friend like that?
Oh, it's so hard.
I couldn't keep my mouth shut. Like we said way more that didn't even make it, but that wasn't the first conversation like that we'd had with Jen, and it won't be the last, I'm sure. It's really hard when you are a good friend and you've seen the behind the scenes, and then she comes back like everything was meant to be, and we know it's not true. And as a good friend, I think I couldn't not say something. I would feel fake if I didn't.
And I think too, like I've been in a past abusive relationship, emotionally, physically, whatever. So this is like more emotional in this, and I think you see yourself in that person. I'm like, I was you to my friends. Like, everything's great. So it's like, I know it's a lie. Like, I can see right through it, and it's hard to watch it. But it's like, how much do you step in? Like, so we give our opinions, but it's like, that's all we can do.
But when Zac said things about all of our marriages, I think that's when we felt like we had a right to then step in.
As soon as somebody says something about you, then you're like, okay, well, you opened the door.
Exactly.
Totally. And did they move to New York?
No, they ended up going to Arizona last minute.
Oh,
Yeah, he switched med schools, I think.
That's a lot closer.
Yeah. She's in Utah a lot, so that's nice.
Is she still allowed to be in Mountain Talk?
I mean, it's hit and miss. I feel like there's days we don't hear from her, and then there's days we do. So.
Okay.
It's you just don't know what's going on behind the scenes with her, I would say. Because like
she's
she's
still
always
in the group chat.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
But I feel like to one thing, it's always like, everything's amazing. So like, we don't really know what's going on. It's like, we're just knowing what she's telling us.
Exactly. Jessi, because you left the church, is that why you feel like more open to speak on things? Because you feel like your eyes have been opened a little bit more?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that I've lived so many experiences in and out of the church, and growing up with parents that one was active, one wasn't. I always say like I had the best of both worlds. So I feel like I have like a well-rounded version of Utah Mormon culture and also real life. So I feel like I'm not shy about my opinions.
Can I ask you guys about the opening scene that plays at the beginning of every episode?
Do you want to borrow the blue coat?
Yeah, like what is that about? Is that something that really happens? Because I think everyone was like, what? Does everyone go to church in matching powdered blue coats?
No. Well, it's so funny. When we were filming that, we had so many cute old ladies who were going to the temple coming up to us like, are you guys bridesmaids in a wedding? And we're like,
I was like, totally.
And then they see the show and they're like, what?
Yeah. That one was hard for me. Like before we even went there, I was like, no. Yeah. And I was in our group chat with just the girls, and I was like, you guys, we got to push against this. It's going to make us look like polygamists or FLDS. Like, this is going to look so bad. It also seems like it's going to be disrespectful, and I don't want to ever come off like that. But half the girls didn't care, half did. And so the problem is if you're not all banded together, like, we're doing it. You have to do it. Yeah. So, like, we had to do it. There was 2 other things they wanted to do that I said, I absolutely refuse to do that. And so we didn't, thankfully. So I feel like I met in the middle. But even then, I was so embarrassed. Like, I was like, this is the most embarrassing, cringiest thing in my life. And I want to die.
I will say, like, the intro's a slay. Like, it is interesting. And like it's videography
but does
is
it
good,
not
but
give Handmaid's Tale?
So cringy.
The song.
I was like shooting the producers a bit after. I was like, so next season are we gonna wear red coats and put bonnets on like Handmaid's Tale? Is that the plan?
Definitely embarrassing.
Those were those moments where I'm like, are they trying to make us look bad? Like I genuinely was like, wait, you guys, like, is this a trap? Like I was like freaking out.
Because I think like for obviously production, they're looking at things and like you guys are all holding hands and maybe it plays into the whole swinging thing that they're trying to like the whole right. So you can see like where they're coming from, but you're like, I don't feel good doing this.
And you're like, are they making fun of us?
That's what I was like. It's
because you're like, we are real people. Like we don't want you to just make fun of us the whole time.
Yeah, I'm like, so much. And this is like my religion. Like I'm active in the church. So I'm like, I don't want to be disrespectful.
Exactly. If we get another season, it'll be interesting to see see what our intro ends up
I
being.
hope it's not anything with the temples. I'm like, can we not?
Yeah, right.
What was the reaction in Utah to this show?
It was bad, but like when the trailer
Is there
came
like
out,
a Facebook group like Utah?
Oh, it was more so just TikTok. Everyone was making videos like hating on us. Like,
and Instagram, the comments are brutal.
people hated us. Like I own a hair salon, and people were texting my stylist like, I can't support you anymore. And so for a minute I was like, what am I doing? Right. Now it's great. It's kind of turned.
You've probably gotten a lot of business.
Oh, it's been amazing.
It's got, like, Macy, is it hard for you because I could see, you know, you participated in the show, you're also active, so I could see, like, perhaps you go to church on Sunday and they're like, she did the show.
I like quite literally don't give an F.
Yeah.
And I say this too because
doesn't
like
have skin.
I got pregnant outside of marriage and I had to go to church like 9 months pregnant. My parents would teach classes. So I'm rolling in alone, like, and I'm like, whatever, no shame.
Yeah.
If I could do that, I could do anything. So I really don't care what people think at the end of the day. It's my relationship with God.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. So they can think what they want.
Yeah.
That is a wonderful outlook to have on
Yeah.
it. I mean, how else are you supposed to
Exactly.
get through
'Cause
life?
Who wants to think about criticism, like let it eat them up? I'm like, I don't care. I've never cared what people think of me. And like, it's hard to be in this industry, in this career if you do. So you have to just deal with it.
Especially when you've been through huge things within the church and your life prior to this moment.
Exactly.
It's not like all of a sudden you're like thrown into, you know.
Exactly.
What's the plan with Mom Talk going forward?
Will it survive? I don't know. I mean, I feel like as a group, like, yeah, Whitney's a little bit on the outskirts, but our hope is that she will eventually come around.
Do you think it's a little bit or a lot of it?
That's a lot. I mean, I wouldn't be unhappy if she never came back, but at the same time, I know she's pregnant and hormones can definitely play into that. So if she came back and like we could all have open conversations and there could be accountability, I think we could move forward.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And I think like Mom Talk's going to continue whether she wants to come back
There's
or
still
not.
7 of us.
We are so excited to tell you guys about Roback's new women's line. It's so cute, so comfortable, and we are obsessed. Between their active dresses, shorts, and full zip hoodies, we always wear them out on a walk, around town, just about the day. So let me tell you about the new Roback Active shorts. They are ultra lightweight. They include a liner for extra comfort, and they are so cute. You can wear them out on a walk, playing pickleball, out for a run, running errands, just out and about, whatever it is. The Roback Active skirts and dresses are also perfect for any out and about activity. The material is super comfortable and the features are very functional. The built-in shorts liner has a hidden pocket that can fit your phone, and their dress has their brand new GTG technology, so you can keep the dress on when you're on the go and got to go. Roback also released full zip hoodies and new workout tanks, so it's safe to say we will be rocking our Roback this season. So use the code CHICKS on roback.com for a generous 20% off your first order of performance skirts, joggers, and hoodies. That's spelled RHOBACK.com. That's 20% off with the code CHICKS. Can we also clarify for people that there is not like a Mom Talk like account?
No,
That's like, because I think that's been
start one?
I think that's been confusing
I don't
to
know
people.
how you guys haven't.
No, we should
I think
actually.
that's been confusing to people that they thought like, oh, they all are like a, because when it's
Like a
described
content house,
as
yeah.
a creator house, it's like, oh, then maybe there's one account where they're all, but it's like you all have your own separate stuff and you appear in each other's stuff, and it's like a group.
It's a collab.
But there's not one individual.
Exactly. Well, that's how Mom Talk started, is because we all had our own brands. Like most of us had like our own TikTok accounts, and then it was like, oh, these are other moms who are like Mormon
the same
in Utah.
thing.
They're like, they're close by. Like, why don't we collaborate, get the views up, the likes up, and like, you know, help each other out and make it like a little side, not like business, because we're not making money together, but like just building our own brands personally. Turn into Mom Talk, but there never was like an account for it.
Yeah, there's a new season plot. We need to create.
Yeah.
we need to buy a house together.
Right. Exactly. And but I feel like if you do create the account, then you'll be like, do we post it on this one? Do
It's
we post it on our
true,
personal?
yeah.
It'll get tricky.
That's
Even
what's hard.
trying
Is like
to
you have
decide
to, yes, you have to
between all of our accounts who gets what.
Right.
yeah,
right.
you have to double content. You
Right,
know?
right.
And sometimes
It's like
we're-
whoever comes up with the idea, it's like,
Yeah, exactly.
it's my idea.
Right.
Like,
There is a bunch of you.
Yes.
When, not to go back to the beginning, but I am, when all of the swinging stuff came out on TikTok, what was your guys' initial reaction? Did you know that was happening? Was it talked about a lot. Like, I want to know more about this.
Yeah, I mean, I always say this, but I already had a feeling they were swingers before it like came out. And
what gave you that vibe?
so there's two things. First thing is like Taylor would do these like little parties, and I'd look at her Instagram stories, and she's like wearing like they'd be like wearing like lingerie type bras, and like they'd like for Valentine's Day they had cookies that said like mommy, daddy. I'm like, this just feels weird. Like there's something about this is like off. Like I don't know what it was. It's giving like college, but they're not in college, so I'm like it's giving swinger. And then I got invited to go to like cabin party by one of the husbands who was like swinging, I guess. He didn't say like come swing or anything, but he invited
Maybe
me.
he wanted to swing with you.
Yeah, I guess
feeling
so.
her out.
Yeah.
He invited me and my husband to the cabin party, and then the next day the wife like didn't text me, so I was like, oh, like okay. And then I texted her, and she's like, you know, like I don't know if there's enough room, like there's enough beds, but like the night before he's like, oh, there's like 40 rooms, there's plenty of room, and then she said the opposite, so I'm like, oh, she doesn't want me to come. And then I was like, what if they're swinging and they like don't want me, like she don't want me to be part of it, or like I don't know. So that's
He
like
did, but she did.
Yeah.
that's where like the
They're
theory.
swinging, but there's rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I like
Yeah.
told Michaela and Whitney we had a girls' night like a week later, I was like, I have a theory, but like don't tell anyone because I don't want to like start a rumor or like that's not true that they're like swinging. And like had this whole thing, and then like literally like a month later it all came out, and I was like, I knew it. Like yeah. So like it wasn't super shocking, but at the same time it is because they're so young, and like usually swingers are older, right? Like they're later in their marriage and they're bored and they want to spice it up. But these people are like in their 20s, like mid 20s. Like it's still shocking, you know?
Yeah, it is shocking. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like that is something that I'm
No.
like, yeah, I think that's like,
It's so normal.
yeah, like no, it's I think it's shocking.
And part of me thinks it's because they didn't have like those younger party years like as Mormons, and so then now it's like they're exploring and experimenting, and like I'm like you should have got it out when you're like 18, 19 or whatever, and you didn't, and now you're doing it now. So
Yeah, totally. I totally get that. I mean,
Yeah.
and things like just go viral and you don't even really fully get the context of
Yes.
everything.
Yeah.
Like you see those TikToks and you make it like I remember seeing Whitney's dancing in the hospital video, like go viral and being like, what the fuck is this? And then when they played the clip during the show, I was like, oh my god, this is the same girl.
Oh, you didn't realize
Like, no,
till
I didn't
then?
realize it was the same person.
Wow.
And I was like, just
Wow.
because I remember when there was like people were like that clip just went, the video just went mega viral
And she
because
looks
everyone was
different
like,
now,
what
so
is
yeah.
that? Yeah, she's changed her hair a couple times.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, this is a whole. So when they showed the clip, I was like, oh my god, this is the same. This is the same person.
So much lore there.
Yeah. So it is interesting because there aren't that many reality shows where everyone is like really on TikTok.
Yeah. Where they're like known before.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
usually after.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like either one comes before the other, and they haven't really, like maybe the younger like LA world, they've tried to do it and hasn't, I feel like fully.
Yeah, the D'Amelios.
Like,
Yeah.
but even with the D'Amelios, like they just kept it like their
And
family.
right, and it wasn't
Yeah.
totally like anything we hadn't seen.
Yeah,
before, right?
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
we've seen the Kardashians,
Right,
you know,
right.
so it's
Yeah.
like we
This
get
is
it. Like this
where,
is a whole other world.
Everybody
Yes.
was like on TikTok already, and then the show comes after.
Yeah.
So it is very interesting.
And
'cause,
everyone
of course,
knew
Stace-
the backstory for the most part about the swinging.
Yeah, the
so
scandal.
Right,
It gave us an
exactly.
audience.
With
Exactly.
the, sorry, I have more questions. With the
Yeah.
swinging, and it's like the Mormon community, right?
Yeah.
Aren't they not supposed to be?
Yeah, and I think that's why it was such a big deal. Is because
Okay.
Mormons are like not supposed to have sex before
right.
marriage.
So
Not
like
cheat,
having
obviously,
sex out of your marriage
is so no.
Is
Right.
it like
Yes.
scandal? Yeah.
That's
I
why
think
it
that
blew
it's
up.
scandal all around,
Yeah.
and not just in the
But
Mormon
even more
community.
so, yeah,
That
yeah,
is
yeah,
just
right.
big scandal for anywhere.
And I don't think Taylor even came out being like, I'm a Mormon swinger. It was just like, I did swinging, but people knew she was Mormon, so then they started putting it hand in hand.
Yeah.
Right. So then it was like, well, then everybody's got to be.
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
they were like, oh, they're lying
the
to
secret
everybody.
that they all
Exactly.
have.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
People
And it's
still
just like an
think-
assumption's made because they're like, oh, well, those are her friends.
Yeah.
Right.
And
people
she did
still
say like
think,
everyone
like-
was involved. And
Yeah, and that's why people were like, okay, so whose husband was with which
Yeah,
one? Yes.
yeah.
yeah, it was wild.
People still think we're swingers that we're just like denying it. Like I got that comment the other day, like they're just denying, like hiding it. I bet they really all are. So I'm like, well, think what you
They'll
want,
think what they
whatever.
want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can confirm you guys are not.
We are not. Unfortunately.
How has there been any talks or any thoughts on another season?
I mean, it's looking like people want it.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
hoping.
They
I mean,
definitely do.
You guys, I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, you really left us on a cliffhanger too. I was
Yeah.
shocked. When the episode 8 ended, I was like, wait, that's it? Like,
Yeah.
what happens? Like, I was like,
It makes people want
what
more.
does Jenna say?
Yes. I mean, there's nothing like currently in the works, but like, you know, we think it's likely based on how well it's done, but there's nothing like confirmed yet.
Yeah. Okay, well,
So keep watching, guys.
Have you guys, you're doing a lot of press.
Yes.
You're walking on the streets. Have people stopped you guys to be like, oh my God, we love the show?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's crazy.
which is like, so, it's not surprising, but it is like, because in Utah it happens, right? Because like we're all in Utah, but like in New York, like so far from Utah, it's like
Thought
kind of
no
shocking.
one here would have seen it, but our billboard was at Times Square.
Yeah.
Everybody has seen it. Like our listeners were like, you guys have to watch.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
you need to watch. Everybody's watching. Like people are like, this is homework. We need to dissect every single
my
bit and piece
gosh.
of this. So people are really loving it and they're very interested. To be fair, it's just something that's different from what we're used to.
It's true. And it's so interesting. Even before the show, like on TikTok, everyone was so interested about like Utah culture, like the sodas and the long hair and Mormons. And so I
soda
think
thing is so funny.
it's so wild. It is.
It is.
I like how you mentioned the long hair.
Yes, it's a thing.
It really is, and your business must be thriving.
It's amazing. I
because
have an extension
everyone
company.
wants the
Everyone's
extension.
wanting long hair now. I'm like, amazing.
And I think what's so like what has been great about the show too is you're locked in because there's so many of you. Like there's it's a big group, which is so helpful because everyone like has their different marriage, their different kind of level of faith, perhaps if they're in, they're out.
Yeah.
Because then it's like everybody's been. I'm sure you've seen like the memes and all the jokes. They're like, thank God they put the names and age underneath every time one of them talks because
I wouldn't know who it was.
There's some confusion on who's who and who's married to who and
It's
what.
so true. And a lot of us look similar, like same hair color, long hair. So yeah, it makes sense.
There was many a times where I was watching and you and Demi were doing a scene together and I was like, wait a second.
Who are these girls? Are they twins?
Wait a second.
We get that all the time.
I think that's why at first I was like, wait, who's doing what? Yeah. Who's doing who?
I got
Going in-
messages about Fruity Pebbles, and I'm like, okay,
You're like, that's not me.
Here's to me,
Is that a little frustrating though when you get messages about something that you didn't do where you're like, that's not me?
Yes and no, just because I get it. Because even before the show, people told us we looked alike, and we're such close friends, and we have like a lot of the same mannerisms. So I'm like, I get it.
Right.
But at the same time, like as time goes on, I'm like, I hope we can each stand out on
and
our
at the
own.
end of the day, like if you correct one, you can't correct everybody.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You can't be in your DMs all day long like, no, this is me.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Jessi, you were super open about like your, work you've gotten done and surgery and, your new labia, your brand new labia. Has there been anything like post show that you've done that you've loved or?
I haven't done anything else yet. I mean, maybe season 2, I'll get a nose job. I don't know. But plastic surgery is huge in Utah.
Yeah.
Like it's like such a vain state, like Botox, filler, extensions. I don't know why, but I think you had said like Mormons, we treat our bodies like temples. So everyone's just like so well groomed that it just kind of becomes the norm.
They take like really good care of themselves. Like in Utah.
Everyone gets boob jobs at 21. It's wild.
Right. So that's so interesting to me, the way that you like just, you said your body's like a temple.
Because that
but
seems
it's
opposite.
Like, it does seem like a little bit opposite, but I get what you're saying.
just
Where
painting the temple.
yeah, right,
Like,
you want it to
yes.
be, you're just like they strive for perfection.
Yes.
How was the labiaplasty?
It was amazing. I'm so glad I did it. Because after you have kids, like it's different. It hangs a little more. And I just feel like I'm 15 again. It's great.
Yeah.
No, look, I love how honest
you were
exactly.
about it,
How
right?
open and
Yeah.
like everyone
I honestly
were like,
forgot.
girls, come look.
Yeah.
I literally forgot I did that. And then my husband watched that scene. He's like, there were cameramen in the room. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, you should see what we do off camera.
We're all unhinged. Yeah.
We're so unhinged.
Oh man, well I'm sure the cameraman production probably got even more of a show.
I'm sure they loved it.
They could probably make a
than
season
we
2
did.
from the footage that they
No,
didn't
literally.
release.
To be in her bra all the time, me with my pants down. Like,
Yeah. Well, I love how open and honest you guys have been.
Yep.
I think everybody has loved that, to learn something that we're not all used to, and just thankful that you guys are so open and honest. And like you said, like, filming the intro, and it's like you're not trying to like mock who you are. Like this is really who you guys are and where you come from.
exactly. Yeah.
It's an interesting balance, and I think it has been like a fascination recently. Whether it's all the different, after Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, like that's everybody's been like, wait, what's going on here? So
Do you guys watch?
Yeah, and I know a few of them, so it's interesting to see like.
Well,
the
they're in the
differences our
beauty
shows.
industry too.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
it's got to be, and I know it's interesting. I even just watched a TikTok that Lindsay Arnold, from Dancing with the
I
Stars.
used to do her hair. We know her, yeah.
She like posted. She was like, "Oh, I was watching. People have been asking me at the show. Like, I am also a member of the church, and this is the things that I noticed, and blah blah blah." And she just kind of made a video to be like, "Hey, let's also remember that this is they're making a TV show.
Exactly.
You
It
know,
has to
and
be entertaining
They
as
have to
well.
be entertaining.
Right.
You know,
No one
she's like,
would
I'm
really
on
wanna see.
reality TV. I get it. Like you have to.
Yeah.
She had a good perspective for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it is very interesting. Everyone's going to want to watch a second season. So
for
hopefully it
sure.
works out.
Let's
but
hope. Fingers
thank you
crossed.
guys.
Thank you
so
guys
much
so
for
much.
coming in and talking to us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can't wait to see what else happens.
Yeah. And everybody follow on TikTok.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll see a Mom Talk account.
Yeah, maybe.
Or next step.
Maybe.
Season 2, baby.
Right. Season 2.
Just bio. Will we
survived.
survive?
Oh my
should
god,
change it.
we have to.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
it's so good.
Thank
Thank you guys.
you.
That was so fun. Thanks
That
for
was
having
fun.
us,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you guys for coming
Yes.
in. All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We love you guys so very much. Reminder, there are still tickets on sale. Some of the shows have sold out, but Kansas City, Nashville, tickets are still on sale. We love you guys so very much. We'll have another episode on Wednesday, and then we send her off to
that's
become
it.
a married woman. And then she won't be back till the middle of October. So you guys are stuck with me, but I promise I'll make it worthwhile. I promise. You lock in. Get your friends to lock in too. All right. Love you guys.